There we go. I can't hit much better than that with a 6-iron. 211 carry, 218. I wish I could hit them like that every single time. Well, there's one thing that really makes this a lot easier, and that's getting that club shallow and on plane. And then once you're from there, you can turn through this shot as hard as you want to. Most people have the exact opposite idea of what they should be doing with their right arm. Let me explain what I mean by this. So we go to the top of the swing. It feels so powerful to take the big muscles in your chest, your right pec, your right shoulder, your right forearm, your right everything in the right side, and start to steepen up this club. If I push or hit something, that's kind of this motion where I'm almost like you're arm wrestling and you're turning it this way. It feels really powerful to do that. Now, if I do the opposite of that and start to turn my arm that way, it feels very weak, but that's exactly what you should be doing in the golf swing, which can drive you absolutely nuts because it's so counterintuitive. So I have to get rid of these overactive right arm muscles and use them the right way. And let me show you a drill that's going to help you with that. Go to the top of the swing. Instead of feeling like the right arm steepens and comes this way, I want you to keep the butt end of the club facing back away from you, and I want you to let the right arm extend behind your body. Go ahead and let your arm drop down as you're doing this. So I'm just doing this motion here about 4 or 5 times, and I'm going to feel like this club drops down behind my butt, honestly. So I want it butt high, butt into the club pointing away from the target, and I'm just going to do that motion. Now after I've done that a few times, now go ahead and rotate as you do that same motion. What you're going to feel, the sensation is very weird here. This motion throws the club back out in front of your body, in front of my chest this way. This motion that I'm doing puts the club behind my body. As I rotate, I feel like this club is completely behind my body like this. I feel like it's so far behind me, but that's actually the pro move that everybody needs to be feeling. Instead of getting this club working back in front of our body, we have to open up as that club shallows out. Let it drop in from the slot in here, and here's a great checkpoint. After I've done this, if I've done this motion correctly, so I open up and I let it drop behind, I should see that club going down my right forearm if I'm looking from the down the line view. So as I shallow this out, I want to see it running down that right forearm as I'm coming in the slot. I'm pausing here, so it may not be perfect, but I want to see this matched up. And when my club is parallel to the ground, what I call last parallel when I'm looking from face on, my hand should be in front of my right leg. I should be close to the ground, so I'm sinking into the ground as I'm rotating. I'm not standing up out of my posture. My hands being low toward the ground will help with this, and then here's the big key. If I do this right, instead of the club being pointing down the target line, it's going to be pointing inside the target line slightly. So if I do that motion, that should set me exactly like that. That's the same as this motion here. That's the same feeling I have when I'm doing that. So do about 5 or 10 reps, then take it in a full swing and try to recreate that same feel. Let me go ahead and really exaggerate here. I'm going to feel like this club is so far behind my body, it swings way out to the right, and I'm going to try to hit another nice power draw if I can. Let's give it a shot. There we go, another good one there. Nice little draw. Again, even farther. That may be the longest 6-iron I've ever hit. 216 carry, 230 after the roll, so pretty lucky on that one. Now, there's one extra piece here that a lot of players will tend to get wrong, and that's squaring back up the face. You notice on these, if you look at the shadow here at the bottom, those trace from right to left, and that's key. If I'm going to get this club to drop from the inside, the last thing I want to do is leave that face open. Now there's still one very big problem here. You see, we can shallow this club out and get it behind our body, but what most players will do when they do this is they block it a mile to the right. They've never been shown the right way to square up the club. Now, what most people have been taught, myself included, growing up, was to square up the club using the forearms in a very precise way, and I think we've all heard this, but it causes us to stand up out of our posture, to start casting the club, and it makes it impossible to really square the club up if we get shallow and from the inside. What I want to teach you is the right way to square up the face. That way you can guarantee that this club's going to turn over from right to left. You'll notice here the little shadow at the bottom of the screen. I want to get that pattern from right to left every single time, and when I pair up what I call the anti-roll method with what we just learned in shallowing out the club, that's both pieces of the puzzle. We got it shallowed out now. We got this club coming from the inside, but if we don't get this next piece right, we're just going to block it to the right. We're never going to get those pro positions, those pro moves like we really want to have. So I want to play a preview of the video, the anti-roll method video here in just 1 second. All you need to do is go ahead and click the card that pops up somewhere on your screen. If you don't see that, don't worry. Just go down below to the description, click the link there, and you'll get instant access. I can't wait to share with you the anti-roll method. You put these two pieces together, I can't wait to hear how good you're hitting it. Let's go ahead and get started right now. So here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep. And that steep club causes all your problems. It causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strikes. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only two pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,